Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of PWI Presents FaceTurn with Candace Cordelia. I'm your host, Candace Cordelia. Thank you for dropping in. And I am so excited for you to meet my next guest. I've been a fan of Candy Lee's for quite some time, and this is the first time that I will be interviewing her. I'm so honored. I'm just going to run down a few things in case you're watching this and you're not familiar with Candy Lee. And correct me if I'm wrong, Candy. I understand first trans pro wrestler to hail from New Zealand, first trans woman to win a major Indies championship at New Zealand's Impact Pro. This was in 2017. And of course, if you haven't heard the news already, making history very recently in New Jersey, wrestling in the first ever all trans femme main event at Paris's Bumping and getting that championship trophy. Thank you, Candy Lee. We honor you. We welcome you. Thank you so much for dropping in for FaceTurn with Candace Cordelia. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Thanks for having me. I was just watching Umbrella Academy, the new season.
Yes. What do you think so far?
Do you know what's so funny? I've watched season 1 and 2, and I don't know how I feel about it. I'm just watching it to see how, like, by the end of the whole series, I'll let you know how I feel. But I don't know how I feel about it yet. It's taken me 2 seasons, and I'm still like, I don't know.
I vibe with that because I don't know how I feel about it either. I like it, but it's taken me a while to get through the series, and I don't know why, because I would think a series like that would be up my alley. So I feel what you're saying. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I understand. We'll get through it together.
Yeah, I'm sure by the end of the season, I'll have my final verdict on whether I like it or not. But right now, I'm just like, I'm just taking it for what it is.
Exactly. But you know what? I'm glad that you're taking time off to watch Netflix and chill, because you've had quite a busy past week, if not a busy year. You know, congratulations for your win at Pride, or Paris's Bumping rather, Pride and Vibe weekend. I mean, historical, really and truly historical. We saw the videos, we saw the pictures on social media. You were voguing, you were winning, you were just entertaining and making people feel so loved and welcomed. You know, so congratulations. I mean, how does it feel to be a part of such a historic 3-way match? I know it was with Edith Surreal and Dark Sheik. You know, what are your thoughts looking back on it now and having won?
First of all, thank you. I appreciate that so much. I feel like even if I didn't win, it's still like major to me, because I being in the first ever all trans women's main event. Yeah, I just feel honored. It's like amazing, and I feel like no one can take that away from us. Like, no TV promotion, like, yeah, it's ours. And like, I mean, I guess I can like have it on TV, but we already did it first. Yeah, it just means a lot to me, because growing up, like, not really having like someone like me to look up to. That's why I feel like I just love the Divas and women's wrestling growing up. But yeah, it's kind of cool that like these days it's like more normalized, I guess, and that there's more of us out here.
Absolutely. You know, and it's so lovely to see what you're doing and how you're inspiring so many people across the globe. And I would love to know, you know, back home, you're from New Zealand, you know, what is the vibe like in New Zealand when you go back home and people are seeing what you're doing, what you're accomplishing, not just in New Zealand, but over here in the States? I mean, what is some of the feedback that you've been getting, even from friends as well back home?
So like back home, like the trans community there is solely like ballroom based. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was cool that like a ballroom and wrestling came together for Pride and Vibe at Paris's Bumping. But yeah, a lot of I'm like friends of a lot of the trans community there and like the ballroom scene. And I think a lot of my friends think it's cool that I'm doing something that like back home in New Zealand, most trans women wouldn't like dare to do. Mm. Like, I feel like anything that like you wouldn't see like normally a trans woman being in, I think they just celebrate it because it's like so different. There's like not really any other transgender wrestlers. Well, I'm the only one at the moment in my country. But yeah, they're all supportive. Like, they don't get wrestling, but from what they get, they they love it. They're just like, oh my God, I can't believe we're out here fighting people. Because they think it's real, but I'm just like, I have to explain to them, oh, it's not like real. But yeah, I think a lot of the girls back home think it's amazing what I'm doing because it's so different and it's like out of the ordinary. But I think in general, like when we see like a trans woman doing something that you wouldn't normally like stereotypically see us in, I think that's celebrated by everyone because it just goes to show that we can do more than what the society sees us for and stuff.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the Divas era. And I know, having seen other interviews that you've done in the past, just like you stated, the Divas era really propelled you into wanting to be a part of wrestling and in the wrestling community and taking on a pro wrestling career. I mean, you also stated that at one point you wanted to wrestle in the WWE. Is that something that you still hope to do in the future?
I mean, I feel like anyone that says they don't want to wrestle like for any TV promotion is lying sometimes. But like, I mean, it'll be cool, but I'm like, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm content with how my life is going that like, even if it didn't work out, I feel like I've accomplished enough and like fulfilled enough for like to please myself and to be proud of what I've done. So obviously if they were like, do you want a contract? Who's gonna say no? Like I want a bow. Hello, I'm gonna get that bag, period. So I'm not gonna turn it down. But yeah, I don't know. I just like love going with the flow. And I feel like putting all your eggs in one basket, like if your sole purpose is, oh, I want WWE, I want WWE, I feel like if it doesn't work out, then that's going to hurt more. But I feel like if you set yourself up and be content with the work that you do, then you're not like, you won't be sad by disappointment, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I really like that statement. And it's
in the beginning, oh, sorry for cutting you off. I mean, in the beginning, when I was like a freshly new rookie and I was like training and learning to wrestle, obviously I was like, oh, my goal was WWE because growing up, that's all I knew, that's all I watched. So obviously in the beginning, it was like, I want WWE so bad. But then as like you get further down this business and more involved, and like after many years, you kind of just like, oh, like wrestling has many avenues and your perspective kind of changes.
What are your thoughts on how things have changed just within the past year? I mean, we're back into live shows and seeing audiences coming back, from the pandemic era, and touring is happening again. And it's really exciting and it's really lovely to see crowds all over again. But of course, the wrestling industry has changed quite a bit, even in just the past year and a half. And I would love to know your thoughts on the changes that you've witnessed and even yourself have experienced in this new era of pro wrestling.
I feel like pro wrestling has gone through so much, like not only the pandemic, but with speaking out, and a lot of that's happened. I feel like a lot of it in the long run is for the good of wrestling. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like some people like stuck with wrestling and they enjoyed it, but I feel like a lot of people like ended up like not becoming fans of it anymore. But yeah, I know I've noticed like a lot has changed, like the way we have to do things now. And yeah, I feel like because of the pandemic, I feel like that really put like a standstill on a lot of people's like careers, especially those that aren't from America, where we see America as like the flourishing like wrestling scene. So obviously people who are not from here, like their careers are kind of on a standstill unless like they have dedicated fans that are checking up on their work in their home countries and stuff. So obviously that kind of like affected, because I was like gonna come here for Mania weekend. I haven't even been to a Mania weekend. I just want to experience it for like at least once. Like I don't have to do it all the time, but if I could experience it once, I'll be happy.
I have to be in agreement with you there because I've never experienced a Mania weekend, but next year, Hollywood, I think that would be super appropriate and amazing if that was your first Mania weekend. So I hope that happens for you. I hope it happens for me too. I would love that.
Yeah, I hope it happens for us. We'll manifest it.
Exactly. And you're already manifesting the background. It's flowing, it's moving. I think it's all happening. So we're going to Hollywood.
Aurora, what's that word? I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, you got it right. Aurora. At least I'm pretty sure that's what's happening in the back of you.
There's another word. Yeah. Aurora, Barra, something.
But yes, Hollywood, that would be amazing. And it's going to happen. You know, I also want to ask you, because Pride and Vibe happened in New Jersey, and I used to live in New Jersey. I know quite a bit about New Jersey, and also being from Philadelphia, Jersey is just a stone throws away. But I would love to know what your impression of New Jersey was, because it seems like this was your first time in Jersey. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it was my first time. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to shame New Jersey because it was alright, but like it was really like it smelled weird. Like it smelled like weed and rats and piss, but it's okay. Like that was just the airport though.
Were you at Newark Airport? Did you come out of Newark?
I was at Newark, and I was just like, this is interesting.
What were your first initial thoughts coming to the States and meeting Americans and eating traditional American food? If I could call it traditional American food. I mean, it's always a mishmash of different cultures anyway here, but, you know, getting an understanding of what American culture is, you know, what were your first impressions?
When I first came here in 2019, I was kind of scared because of what you see on TV and stuff about Americans. I didn't think Americans would be friendly, but when I came here, I was like kind of surprised because it was the opposite. The Americans are really friendly. Like they were so helpful because I looked so lost at the airport, but they were so helpful, especially the men.
Yes.
I don't know the food. I don't know. I don't think I like American food. It's like it tastes overly processed. Because back home, I feel like the food is nice, but I think I'm just being biased.
Well,
but also, I'm vegan, so I do say like you guys have more vegan options available here than back home.
First of all, how long have you been vegan for?
I've been vegan for like years. Since for like 5 years or so, or 7. I can't remember.
Oh my goodness.
I've just been vegan for ages. That's how I know.
Wow. What was your reasoning for becoming vegan?
Hey, this is kind of stupid. Like, because I kind of like troll now and then, but I said I was vegan as a joke in the beginning because I like to tell people that, oh, I'm vegan, so I'm better than you. So I did it, but I wasn't actually vegan for real. I was still eating meat. But then I was like, let me just try this. And then I tried it, ended up like liking it. And I do love animals and I care about the planet. But it started off as a joke and now I'm here.
That's so funny because that's like a stereotype that some people hold in terms of what they think of vegan is, like very much, you know, telling everyone else to be vegan and very, you know, just really aggressive about it. But
I'm like the opposite. People don't even know I'm vegan until like we go to a restaurant and I'm like, oh, I can't eat that. And then they're like, oh, why not? Are you allergic? And I'm like, oh, I'm actually vegan. And they're like, I've known you for ages. And, like, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, because I'm not stereotypical vegan. I'm not going to just tell you.
Yeah, you have to.
But people didn't believe me. When I was in Jersey, I was like telling them I was vegan. They're like, you're lying. And then I ate Chipotle. That was disgusting. Never again. That was my first time.
Wow.
And then like one of my friends were like, do you want to eat my chicken? And I was like, bitch, I literally told, oh, sorry. Can we say that?
It's okay.
I was like, I'm literally vegan. I can't eat chicken. And they're like, oh, I keep thinking you're lying. And I'm like, oh my God, not this.
Wow. So hold on. Okay. So Chipotle, disgusting. That's one thing that Candy Lee, that sounds like an exclusive scoop that I got from you, which I'm very excited about.
I don't have that in New Zealand. And every time my American friends would talk about Chipotle, I thought it was like yogurt or ice cream. And then got told it was not. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. But then I tried it for the first time, like in Jersey, the weekend, and it was not the tea. I don't like it.
Wow. But I know you love dinner because you recently said that on your Twitter account. So what
I love
restaurants? Yeah, you like food. Here. So which restaurants did you find yourself really loving in the States, in Jersey, in Atlanta, where I understand you're based right now, that you don't have in New Zealand?
I feel like you guys have a lot of restaurants here that like we don't have. We only have like Burger King, McDonald's, and like Wendy's.
Mm.
You guys have like 50 different chain restaurants, and that's so wild to me. But I haven't tried much. But I'm gonna go try the Slutty Vegan today. Apparently it's really good.
I've heard, I've never had. So please, like, tweet about it and let us know what you thought, because I hear it's great. I hear it's actually great. I'm not vegan myself, but that doesn't mean I can't eat vegan plant-based foods, which I do from time to time. So yeah.
Just funny, like a lot of my non-vegan friends, when they've tasted vegan food, like, and you don't tell them it's vegan, they can't even tell the difference half the time.
Yeah. It's so true. It's very, very true. And in fact, I personally prefer plant-based meat over a lot, because a lot of meat here is processed, especially if you're buying it from, your regular markets and it's not coming from like an organic marketplace. But I love that we've gone from wrestling to talking about food to talking. I also want to talk fashion, because you're always rocking amazing looks on social media, in the ring. Who are your fashion inspirations, Candy Lee?
My fashion inspiration, I feel like it's just like bad bitches, I guess.
Mm.
Like I love like Doja Cat. Like I love Lady Gaga. Like anyone like with like out of it like fashion. Or I just like clothes that like look pretty, I guess.
Mm. I love that. Do you have any aspirations to do modeling? Is that something that you are doing now? Or if not,
I've
will
done modeling before.
Mhm.
It was fun, but it's just like I feel like over the years I got a bit thicker, so I'm just like, oh, I don't know, I'm kind of like subconscious about that I'm too big to do modeling. But I feel like with plus size modeling being normalized and stuff, I think that's cool.
Mhm.
But I don't know, I don't know, the pandemic has just kind of made me lazy kind of.
That's okay. You're not the only one. You're working so hard, Candy. You just won a huge championship trophy. I mean, I think it's fine if you take a break and not eat Chipotle and go to another restaurant.
Like again. Like it never happened.
We forgive you. What are you going to do with that trophy when you get back home to New Zealand? What's the first thing you're going to do with your championship trophy?
I'm probably gonna show my parents so they can. My parents don't like get how wrestling works. So like if I show them championships or trophies, they like act like I like won a Nobel Prize. So I'm just like, I'm like, look, I won.
That's so nice, though. I mean, when you told your parents that you wanted to be a pro wrestler, what was their first thought? What did they tell you?
Oh, my mom thought it was a joke, and my parents just laughed. They didn't get it, and they thought I was gonna get beaten up because they don't know how wrestling hard it works. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna explain to you right now. I'm just gonna. Because every time I come back from a show or like when I have shows, my mom's like, "Oh, so did you win your tournament? Did you win your games?" And I'm like, "Oh, I lost." And she goes, "Oh, so useless. What a waste of time doing wrestling." And I'm like, "Not this." I'm
You're
like,
like, Mom, come on.
"It's not that deep." And she goes, "I can't believe it. What a waste of time going to wrestling training and doing all of that, and you lost." And I'm like, "Oh my god."
I, I feel you, Candy. It sounds like I can relate. My mom is from a different country, and I get it. I get it, because they don't know. They just don't know.
Yeah,
But
my
yeah.
parents are traditional Samoans. They don't speak much
Mm.
English, and all they speak is Samoan at home. So it's really hard to explain to them. But I'm just like, I just have to tell her, oh, I'm trying to be like The Rock, and then
Mm.
because they love The Rock because he's Samoan.
Yes, yes. And what you're doing is fantastic. You're making history. I mean, have they gone to any of your matches in New Zealand? Have they attempted to come out and see it in person?
They came to the first match that they came to my match at our biggest show for my home promotion where I won the championship the first time. And they were so proud of that. They thought it was real. But my mom was worried and she said she's never going to come again because she doesn't like watching me get hit. They also came on my debut. Like I tend to like tell them to come on my big moments.
Makes sense. Makes sense. You want them to come and appreciate and support. And, I get it, because they don't want to see their child getting beat up? Because like you said, some people think it is real. They don't understand the intricacies of what goes into it. So
Yeah, my mom was literally like, "Hey, I'm not gonna come to your shows anymore. Just let me know how you're doing because I can't watch you getting hit like that." And I'm like, "Oh my God, it's gonna be okay. It's not like beat me up that bad."
you're like, it's all right. Now, are you an only child? Do you have any siblings?
Oh no, I have a lot of siblings. I'm like one of 9.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Now, are you in the middle, youngest, or oldest?
So like my older siblings are like half siblings, but I'm the oldest for my dad
Okay.
that my mom's with now. And my auntie adopted two of my half brothers, so we call them our cousins. But yeah, I'm like fairly in the middle, but I'm the oldest of my dad's.
Got you.
There's like 4 of us.
Wow. Or now, do any of your siblings have any hopes of becoming a wrestler as well? Or are they just all completely different fields, different careers?
Yeah,
Not
they're different fields, but I did grow up play wrestling, my brothers and my cousins. So we all grew up watching it, and like I guess I think I'm the last person they expected to like take up wrestling.
But look at what's going on now. You're here in the States.
I wanted to do wrestling to be a diva, to be like Melina, Candace, Michelle, Kelly, just to be beautiful in the ring.
There you go. And you are. Yeah. I love that.
It's gonna evolve to what it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, like I love both eras of wrestling. I love all eras of women's wrestling, but you know, I came from like the simple times where you just had to be cute and throw a clothesline now and then.
Now and then, exactly. Now it's like more than now and then, you know, every 2 minutes if you can, which is nothing wrong with that. But okay, so if you were to meet Melina, if you were to meet Kelly, you know, whether it's at a convention on the street, I mean, what would you say to them?
I've met Melina and I told her that she inspired me. She was lovely. She was a sweet soul, but I've met Candace Michelle as well, who was like a big factor into why I started wrestling. She was lovely as well. I'm yet to meet Kelly. I would love to meet her. Like she inspired me so much. I feel like I would cry, but then I feel like I wouldn't. I'll try to like not look like a crybaby in front of Kelly.
Okay.
She congratulated congratulated me when I was in the PWI like 2 years ago. So that was like such an honor.
That's fantastic. I'm glad you mentioned that because I know that you've been vying to be #1. We see you, Candy, on Twitter. You got it in your head.
I'm just gonna say that I'm #1, even if I don't get anywhere. I'm just gonna be like, I don't care. I'm #1 in my heart.
I know that's right. And we love you over here at PWI. We see everything that you're doing. You're making history, but you're also having fun doing it. And you have a ton of people in your corner and they love watching you every time you're in the ring. I mean, what's a dream match of yours that you would love to have in the near future?
Dream match? I feel like all my dream matches like probably cannot happen because a lot of the divas don't wrestle anymore. I don't know. I feel like it would be cool to like wrestle like Nyla on TV. Like how historic would that be? Like 2 trans women wrestling on TV. Or like even like the woman that I wrestled in the main event at Paris is Bumping, that'd be cool.
That would be very cool. A lot of people want to see you wrestle Nyla, myself included. I've seen that floating around a lot on social media. So that's another thing that we're going to put out in the universe. And I think that would be personally amazing. We've never seen anything like that. Just like you said, 2 trans women in the ring. That would be amazingly historical and would set another precedent and also another first in your career. And you've done a lot of firsts. You've accomplished a lot in such a short span of time. I mean, what's the next first in your wrestling career that you'd like to accomplish next?
I'm not sure. Like I never really like look at stuff in like the perspective of doing like first and stuff. Like I feel like I downplay my accomplishments because I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just chilling. I'm just like flowing through my life and through wrestling, and I feel like I just want, like, I don't want to be too serious, but then I do want to be serious. But like, I like not taking myself too seriously, because I feel like I would be miserable otherwise if I wasn't happy and doing wrestling the way I want to. Because I know how this business can be and what it can do to people. So I don't know. I feel like if hyper focusing too much on being the first of something is like so weird to me. Like, because I feel like why not just do it? Like, I feel like I just want to do stuff.
Mm. And you're doing a ton of stuff, you know, and you're in Atlanta right now. I have to ask, what's happening in Atlanta, and what is your impression of Atlanta and the culture and everything going on with the wrestling scene? There's a huge wrestling scene in Atlanta happening right now as well.
Yeah, I didn't come to Atlanta for wrestling. I came for a guy. No, I'm kidding. Could you imagine?
Are you kidding?
Maybe. I mean, Atlanta's nice. I like it here. I really like it here.
Now, how long are you staying in the States for?
I'm like leaving soon.
Okay. Oh, I know. It sounds like you're upset, but that's okay. I'm sure you'll be back, and I'm sure you'll come back
I
for
wish
more
I could
matches.
live here. I feel like I'm being from a small city, so like a small town girl, like coming here and like seeing how big it is, and I feel like the endless opportunities, whether it be wrestling or just in life, I feel like it's so unlimited here. But also, I kind of find America scary.
And a lot of Americans find America scary. It's huge. It's a big place, a big country,
No, and I
and
feel like also like the difference in the way like a lot of trans women get treated here is so it's not like it's so different back home. Like, because I don't know, like I've never been like physically attacked for being trans. So just like having that like happen here like a lot, it's that kind of scares me, and that like it's always plays in the back of my mind. That's why it's just like I don't know, it's just scary.
yeah, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up because it is a reality here, especially in America. On the news, we hear countless, and sometimes we don't hear about it on the news. Sometimes it's downplayed. You know, you kind of have to sift and search, and a lot of it you'll find on social media. But the trans community is under attack, and a lot of trans individuals feel like they have to really be aware of their surroundings. And I know, you know, over here on the East Coast near New York, there's been so many stories lately. I can only imagine how scary that is. I mean, what is the trans community for you like in New Zealand versus here in America?
I'm not gonna say it's like better. I feel like there's discrimination towards trans people all over the world, but I
Mhm.
just feel like we don't get as violent as it does here, I guess. Like I've never like, been subdued to like to hard out. Just like I feel like no one in New Zealand's just gonna pick on you and just beat you for being trans. But I don't know, because I feel like coming into America, it's a lot different, because I feel like back home they can tell more, like they know, they're familiar with what trans people in New Zealand looks like. Whereas I feel like when I come here, I don't really get clocked and stuff. So I feel kind of safe, but then I'm also like at the back of my mind, I'm like, you never know. Like
Mm.
it's just scary.
It is. It is. What are your thoughts on the pushback lately against transgendered athletes? Because that's become a hot topic this year as well.
Yeah, we did have that issue back home, because there was a powerlifter that went to the Olympics and she was trans, and like there was pushback on that. But I feel like there's pushback on transgender athletes when they don't look a certain way. I feel like if a trans woman was like hard out, conventionally attractive, like how in their heads of what the beauty standard is, then they don't care as much. But if it's a trans person that's not attractive to them, that's when people have a lot of pushback for some reason. And it's I don't know, I'm just tired of the same argument about like, oh, we can always tell, blah 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 blah. I don't know. And I feel like when it starts to seep its way into pro wrestling, where people are like, oh, that's not fair, like, but I'm like, pro wrestling is a lot different than actual athletic sport. Like you have to be athletic and stuff, but it's like predetermined. So like no one really has an advantage in pro wrestling unless you're a booker. You have that advantage.
Thank you for being so candid. I mean, that is a part of your moniker, Candidly Candy Lee, but it's always nice to hear your thoughts on serious topics like this because they do exist. And there are many people that are trying to make it better for transgendered athletes in all sports, but especially pro wrestling.
Yeah, and it's so weird to me when people are like, why can't they just have like a transgender division? And I'm like, you realize that like there's not a lot of transgender athletes in one field. Like they want to like have a whole transgender women's sprint. There'll only probably be like two because there's not like so many that are into athletics like that. And it's always they always try to talk science and stuff, and I'm just like, I feel like when when normal people who aren't in like biology or in that field of science start talking about stuff like that, I'm just like, you don't even know what you're talking about. You literally just Googled something and or oh my god, I'm gonna use that. So yeah, that argument's so annoying. It's just I feel like it's like with a lot of topics, I feel like it's too many people without actual like knowledge or they're not in the field having an opinion and a say. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, why are you people so concerned with how someone chooses to live their life? Like it has no effect on your life. They don't pay your bills. You're not sleeping with them. Like I don't that never like I feel like the world will be much happier and a better place if people just like start worrying about what other people are doing.
Mind your own business. That's what it's all about. Mind your business. Drink your water.
That pays you.
Exactly.
Then what's the problem?
Exactly. 1000%. 1000%. I mean, have you ever felt like because you are attractive, you're very attractive, have you ever felt any sort of aggression for being attractive placed against you in this field?
What do you mean by that? Do I like get?
Yeah, so what you stated a little bit earlier in terms of people looking a certain way, especially in the transgender community, for you yourself, do you find that you've experienced, like for instance, there's something called pretty privilege, which a lot of people are talking about nowadays. I don't know what your thoughts on that are, but do you find?
Yeah, I feel like pretty privilege really exists. And I feel like if you use it for your advantage, like use it for good, then it's okay. But if you use it for bad, then it's bad. But I feel like I guess what you're trying to say is like when guys like flirt with me and then they find out I'm trans and they like flip the switch on me. I've gotten that a lot where like a guy will like not know and then they'll like hard out like say that I'm beautiful and stuff and they'll hit on me and then like someone will tell them, oh yeah, she's trans, and then it's just like they flip the switch on me and then it just turns into a negative experience. I've had that quite a lot, but yeah, I guess but sometimes people just like look beyond that and they just see trans and then they just think it's an ugly thing to them. And I feel like growing up, I always had that stick with me, like, am I ugly? But I only thought that because society tries to paint trans as an ugly thing. But I don't know, getting older and stuff and wiser, I kind of just feel like, oh no, I love who I am. It doesn't matter like how people will view me. At the end of the day, I know I'm happy, and like I will attract what energy I put out. Like the things I attract is the things that I deserve, and like people being upset about me being trans. That's like a lot to do with themselves, never me.
Yeah. I love everything you just said, Candy, because it's so important, especially nowadays, where so many people feel as though, you know, they're walking around with perhaps low self-esteem, sense of self, low confidence. And it's really fabulous to hear everything that you're saying because it's very important. And at some point, you know, you just can't care what people think. You just got to live your life, and you're living your best life, it seems. And we all love to see it. So we're happy for you.
No, yeah, I feel like it's a journey of like self-love, and I feel like self-love
Mhm.
is really important. And I feel like it's taken years for me to be comfortable enough. And like once you realize that do what makes you happy, then none of it matters. It's like just do you, and like you'll attract the people that are meant to be there for you. And yeah,
I
I
love
don't know.
that.
Like I feel like even though my life could be hard and like I could be going through stuff, but I'm just like I know it's temporary, and at the end of the day, I like have a loving family, and yeah, and I have support from people that I know love me and stuff, and I love myself, so it's okay.
It is okay. It is okay. And a few more questions before we wrap this up. This is fabulous. Thank you so much, Candy. I'm having a great time chatting with you. And I love the fact that you're just being you and you're so open. You know, Billy Dixon recently stated his retirement from wrestling. And we know in the wrestling community, he is the founder of Paris is Bumping. You know, this is his baby. When you found out that he was retiring, what were your thoughts?
Um, it really sucks, but like I hope it just means he's retired from in ring and not like being backstage and being like the brain power behind like Pride and Vibe and stuff. Because I feel like I'm so thankful for Billy because I feel like not enough people in this business care about the dolls, like the trans community. And I feel like he's one person who really like is like backing us. Like so yeah, like it's pretty sad. Like obviously he wants to end it on his term, and I love that about it, that he's taking power back and controlling his own narrative and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of sad, but like I just hope he continues on with the backstage stuff because he is putting the dolls on and like giving us a platform and giving queer talent a platform overall because I feel like queer talent is overlooked a lot in wrestling. I feel like wrestling, yeah, they don't like minorities. Let's just say.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I mean it's interesting you mentioned that because I was just personally reading an article about Leo Rush, and he was stating about Black talent in wrestling and his thoughts on that. Made a lot of comments about the advances that are happening, but it seems as though we still have a long ways to go across the board with a lot of underrepresented talent. You know, when you see the rise of so many different talents, whether it's queer, you know, African American, Asian, etc., just rising through the ranks of wrestling, how does that make you feel? Because, like you just said, I mean, it's we're still in a sense underrepresented. There's still a long way to go, but there seems to be more talent just coming from all over the globe uh, who are not Caucasian. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's really good. Like it's a good step towards the right direction with a lot of work more to go, but it is better than where it was. But I feel like with wrestling, like the fact that like we have promoters and bookers that control how like talent is perceived, that kind of like I feel like we need more people of like that are minorities in those positions
Mm-hmm.
because obviously they can control like what someone looks like. But it
Mm-hmm.
is good that there is more talent that like that's not white and
Mm-hmm.
that are getting booked and stuff.
Yes. Is something in terms of behind the scenes work, is that something that you could see yourself doing in the future?
Oh my gosh, no, I don't know.
Your
Maybe,
face told it all.
maybe one day, but not right now. You would have me running a whole Divas promotion of
Mm.
cat fights and slaps.
Hey, that I feel as though if that were to come to pass, it would be extremely popular. So get the wheels turning, Candy, and you might want to think about that for the next, you know, however long in the future. But I think it would be popular. Why not?
That'll be interesting, that's for sure.
It would definitely be interesting. That would be really cool. Is there anything else you'd like to accomplish in wrestling? I mean, there's so many different things, and we're seeing a lot of really intriguing content coming out now. I mean, we're seeing more content creation on YouTube and all these different shows and things happening with reality television. Is there anything else you could see yourself doing, even outside of wrestling? I just mentioned reality TV. I don't know if that's something that you would potentially like to do.
I feel like reality TV would be so much fun. Like, I feel like I would have fun on there. Like, I'd probably thrive. And, like, I don't know. Like, in terms of wrestling, I think I just want to show people that you can be a diva and barely take any bumps and do the damn thing. I don't know. I just feel like I love to go with the flow, and I wherever it takes me in life, that's where I go. But I'm like one to like never turn down opportunities when they arise. And like I love experiencing new things, and yeah, I don't know. I just like existing. That sounds weird.
No, not at all.
I feel like when I mean something like that, I feel like I just like that as a trans person, I can like as a trans woman, I feel like just existing is nearly enough, and like being visible and just not getting looked at as like some alien freak creature. It's like, that's what like I just want to be respected for as a human and not get treated like I'm some second rate like alien or something like that.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Candy. And I really love the fact that you are owning yourself. You're owning your power. You're out here doing your thing. And it's such an inspiration to people of all backgrounds to see that. And in 2022, I personally feel we need more of that. So thank you for being you. And thank you for being here and existing, because we love what you're doing and we want to see more of it. So thank you, Candy Lee, and congratulations on all of your success. I don't know if you have any last thoughts for anyone watching who would be curious to know what else you might be getting up to. And then also, if you have any advice for anyone that is potentially just struggling right now, whether or not that they're a wrestler, just struggling, and there's a lot of things happening in the world today, anything that you would like to tell them just as a vote of confidence for them?
I feel like I would just tell them to like that it's like it'll go away, like it'll get better. Like I don't know, like I feel like it's hard to give advice because I feel like everyone's situations are different. Some might be greater than others, but I feel like just hold on, and like dark days don't last forever. But even if it feels like that, because I get moments where I'm down in the dumps and stuff, and I feel like all you need, like if you need to take time for yourself, it's not selfish to like cut everyone off for a bit and just spend time with yourself. Because I feel like sometimes life is going way too fast and it never slows down. So you kind of just have to slow it down for yourself. But yeah, I guess just hold on there and like, yeah, don't give up and stuff.
Love it, Candy. And before we leave, where can we find you next in terms of your next matches or anything else?
I'll be back for Transgendered in August. I don't know the place. I don't know America that well.
We'll find out.
You'll see.
As soon as you said that, someone's going to find it and post it. So they'll probably know before you do, if anything. Unless you find it now.
Oh, I think I had a poster. Wait, let me go on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the name of the place.
It's all good. Is it going to be here in the States or back in New Zealand?
Yeah, it's in America, but I don't know how to say it. It's New Haven? New Hampshire or something?
New Hampshire?
Yeah, the Hampshire Dome.
Okay, the Hampshire Dome. That sounds good, Hampshire. Perfect. Lovely.
Sorry for butchering that.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll find it on Instagram or Twitter, and we can't wait to see. Now, who's your match going to be with? Or is that determined?
It was going to be with Mariah Moreno, but
okay.
I think she, because she announced her retirement on Instagram, so
Okay.
I think that's yet to be confirmed at this
Okay.
point. Who
All
my
right.
is, but I was looking forward to wrestling Mariah because she's a pioneer of being like of trans women. She was meant to be in the main event with us.
Yes, yes. I remember reading the announcement and she couldn't make it. And, you know, we're sending our thoughts and blessings to her and just hope that, you know, whichever transition she's going into in terms of her life and her career, that it's a happy one, a smooth one, and a blessed one. So shout out to her because you're right. She is a pioneer. And we also can't wait to see you in New Hampshire, whether we're there in person or we see it on television, on our laptops, on our phones. It's always exciting hearing what you're up to, Candy. And thank you once again for being a part of this show. It's really lovely talking with you. And I hope that you can come back, but next time in person so we can have some fun and talk more.
All right, Bert.
It's okay. I think that's the most appropriate way to talk with Candidly Candy Lee. Thank you so much once again, Candy, for stopping by. And thank you all for watching this episode of FaceTurn with Candace Cordelia. It's a PWI Presents production. Stay tuned for more here on our YouTube channel. Also check out our Twitter, our Instagram. You can find out what I'm up to at Candace Cordelia, and that is on Twitter. And stay tuned because you never know who I'm going to talk to next, but we always know it's going to be fun and exciting. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, see you later.